Everything you wanted to know about meters, but we're afraid and didn't share that. All right, take a look, see up here. I'll actually do it life size here. I'm gonna draw a life size meter up here. This is actually a meter stick.
Oh, that's wrong.
Let's just get that there. Here is about 1 meter. Okay, that is the basic unit of measurement in the metric system. And again, the metric system is a beautiful thing because everything from it is devised and split into tens. Okay, some of them that we don't use very much. For example, if you cut a meter into 10 equal pieces, which I have right here, by the way. Here's my little meter thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We do not use that unit of measurement. Rarely. Does anybody know what 1 meter equals 10? Anybody know what this little chunk is called? We don't use it, so I wouldn't expect you would, but maybe you do. Elijah?
Centimeters?
Nope, those are the next group smaller. We get to that next. Lainey?
Inches?
No. Inches are a whole different system. Those are decimeters.
What I think
And we don't use a decimeter, but it's about that big. You can amaze and astonish your friends if you ever want to talk about that. If you take each decimeter, there's 10 of them, and cut it into 10 equal parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Each one of those, by the way, if I have 10 groups of 10, 1 meter is going to equal 100. Each one of those things is about the width of your pinky. If you look at my thing here, this actually has it split into it. Somebody already said it once. There's 100 of those numbers there. Keith, it is?
Centimeters?
Yeah, these are the centimeters. Centimeters about the width of your thumb. I'm sorry, your width of your pinky. Some of you have small pinkies, so. And then, if you take your centimeter, each one of these little things here, let's make an expanded view of this. If you take each centimeter and split it into 10 equal pieces, which means there'd be 1,000 of them in this ruler, and if you wanted to sit down and count all those little spaces on this ruler, that is where you get your Elizabeth B. Yep, your millimeter. Okay, there are 1,000 of those millimeters in 1 meter. Okay? And the nice thing, people, is when you get the measurements, when you are given measurements, changing from one unit of measurement in the metric system to another unit of metric system is really, really, really easy. For example, if I have, I don't know, 50 centimeters, and I want to know how many meters that is. Okay? To change centimeters back into meters, the digits stay the same. There's going to be a 5 and probably a 0 there somewhere. It's just a matter of where does the decimal point go. Okay? And here's kind of the deal that you remember. Since this is 100 and there's 2 zeros, you can just move the decimal back 2 places, and that's where your decimal will go in your answer. 50 centimeters is 0.5, or half of a meter. okay? Or if I had, let's say I had 6,000 millimeters, and I wanted to know how many meters that is. How many zeros when you change a meter to a millimeter?
Three.
So that's how many places I move the decimal back. And I end up with just a 6 or a 6.0 if you like. But notice you don't have to do, when you change inches into feet, you have to either multiply or divide by 12. I know how much fans of multiplication and division you are, it makes it very difficult. But to change centimeters to meters and all the rest of this stuff, it's very easy. Or if I had this, how about 35 decimeters equals how many meters? 35 of these little things here put together. Well, in the conversion, how many zeros do you see here? And how many decimeters are in a meter? 1 zero's worth, or whatever. So I come back one place. Guess what my answer is going to be? 3.5. 3.5 meters would be 35 decimeters. So it's a really, really, really easy thing there. Or to change this, what if I'm changing 45 millimeters into centimeters? Let me ask you a question. How many centimeters are in a millimeter? Or how many millimeters in a centimeter? 10 millimeters make up 1 centimeter. How many zeros do you see in the 10? 1. So your choice is, because it does work the other way as well, my choice is either, is there going to be 4.5, or if I move the decimal the other way, it's 450. Think about this. How many centimeters would 45 millimeters be? Let me give you, 45 millimeters is about this distance right here. So what do you think? Is it going to be 4.5 centimeters or 450? Anybody? Isabel?
4.5.
Right, because I'm just going to come back to one place and I get my 4.5. Now what if I go the other way? What if I have 36, let's do it here, 36 centimeters equals how many millimeters? Which, by the way, here, let me show you. 36 centimeters is this long, well, this distance. I know there's 10 millimeters in just 1 centimeter. Again, I'm going to move the decimal one place, but does it mean there's going to be 360 if I go that way, or 3.6 if I go that way? Which one do you think it is? It's kind of a logical one, Kate. 3.6 centimeters is, or millimeters is about that big. 1 millimeter is the width of your pencil. So if you put 3 of them together, how long is 36 centimeters? Children, look, I said it was this big. Oh, this big is 36 centimeters. How many millimeters would that be? Brooklyn?
360.
360, yeah. So you got to have a little bit of an idea if your number is supposed to be bigger or smaller than. And if you have centimeters, you have a lot more millimeters than centimeters. How about another one? Oh, how about this? 1 meter. 1 meter. This is like a bonus question. 1 meter and 45 centimeters would be how many centimeters? Which, by the way, if you go to Europe and they ask you how tall you are, they give their heights in centimeters. If you said I'm 5 feet 3 inches, they would have no idea what that is. All right, you'd have to tell them how many centimeters tall you are. And they don't say it like this. They don't say I'm 1 meter 45 centimeters. You have to put this all together. 1 meter is how many centimeters? So if you're 100 plus another 45, 145. Now, do you think that's tall or not? I don't know. Jaden, shoot, stand up. Let's see how tall Jaden is in centimeters. Jaden, what's your guess of your height in centimeters?
5.
What?
75 centimeters tall.
If
Hold
you 5
that right
centimeters, you would be smaller than.
Right there's 100, Sir Jaden.
That's
We'll stick this one on there too. Wait, I'll put this together. Jaden is 100, looks like 165 centimeters tall.
That's a lot more than 5, Jaden.
It's 160.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a super deluxe bonus. How many millimeters do you suppose 175 centimeters is?
Oh,
How many millimeters? If there's 10 millimeters for every 1 centimeter, Charlie? 1,650. Now, a triple, quadruple bonus. 165 centimeters would be how many meters? I wouldn't expect you to know this, but maybe some of you. Let me give you a clue. How many centimeters, how many centimeters are in a meter? How many zeros are in 100? 2. So you're gonna move the decimal 2 places one way or the other, which one would make sense? 165 centimeters is how many meters? Yeah. Well, Brianna here, if this is 1 meter, and if I put 16,000 of them together, that's a mighty tall Jaden shoot. Moving the decimal 2 places, move them the other way, you get what? Yeah, Brianna got it right there. You move the decimal this way, 165 centimeters is 165 centimeters is 1.65 meters. So it's really easy to change from one unit to the other unit. It's sometimes hard to figure if you multiply it or divide. All right. For tomorrow.